Yes.
So, welcome everyone. This is Inspired to Change. I'm Jan Edwards, and this is my guest and my super good spirit soul sister. I want to call you friend. Her name now is Prema Saraswati. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Okay.
Yes.
But I've known her for 10 years as Mee Vaj.
Hmm.
So, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It is so cool to be here, to be chatting with you. I'm really excited.
Yeah, you look great. Your eyes are all lit up. You look peaceful. You look very centered.
Thank you.
Uh, so today we're talking about the changes that Prema felt called to make in her life that are big changes. And not many people make these kinds of changes. I can relate a little bit because my mother made this change, not identical to yours, but similar. So why don't you tell us what the number one changes that we're talking about here today?
Well, the change is the name. I'm almost 50 now, and I've been Mee Vaj all my life. It's my um, given name. Actually, the name I was giving at birth was Jua Va. Jua is a pretty girl's name, and then it's
Mm.
green. And then my parents changed it when I was just a little girl to Me. And
Okay.
Me is just a plain name, plain Jane name. Because
Mm.
they said that I got really sick and I turned, blue and green. And they did a shamanistic healing and said that my soul did not like that name. So when they changed it to Me, I never was sick again, except for the,
Oh my
cold and
God.
flu here and there. So my whole life was Me Va. And last year, 10 years ago, I became a healer and started this spiritual path and was just like working on enlightenment and healing. And so I spent most of my time and money on healing and learning. Last year was a huge um, learning. I, so August of 2021, I was in this deep hypnotic meditation. And I have been led to work on judgment and ego, releasing judgment, working on detaching, like detaching.
Beautiful.
And in this one meditation, I was shown, and what I call the Divine Mother is how I call God.
Mm.
So the Divine Mother, you can also call it Divine Wisdom, whatever you call it. Okay, I call it the Divine Mother. Show me ego and judgment, and it was showing me how the pursuit of wealth comes from ego and it feeds the ego.
Mhm.
Having a title
Mhm.
comes from the ego and feeds the ego. And she went on to show me like various things in life that others did, that also I did, that were just coming from the ego. And that deep state, everything is very, your senses of heightened, so you feel things really like so much more um, deeply, and high sensory experience. So I felt the energy of that
Mm.
egotistic, the arrogant way of doing
Mm.
things, and I just say, okay, I got it, mother. That felt awful. So
Mm.
this is ego, this is ego, this is ego. I got it. What do I do?
Oh.
And she said, be humble. I said, okay,
Mm.
be humble. I got it. And she said, and be nobody.
Oh.
So I said, okay, I am nobody. And when I said that, something clicked. I felt free. And I saw this vision of me just being an energy form, merging into the vast, infinite, universal energy. It's like one droplet merging into the ocean. And I became everything.
Oh my goodness.
So being nobody, I became everything and everybody. And since then, I my name was nobody. I became nobody. I love being nobody. It was so freeing. Whenever the ego would start like going off at the negative path, I would say I am nobody, and that just disappear. And I'm like, wow, I'm peaceful. So it was very exciting and joyful for me to be nobody. But other people were having a difficult time with that. Um, so a little.
Did you actually say to people that you're now nobody?
Hi, I said,
Oh,
hi, I'm nobody. My name is nobody.
including your family.
So I told my husband, and he had a hard time with that. So he just called me baby. Just did not call me nobody. He called me a few times when I say, hey, my name is nobody. Call me nobody.
Oh my God.
You can't call me baby. You have to call me nobody. I told my son, and my son is 26. I told my son, and he's okay, fine, mom. So he just calls me mom.
Okay. Okay.
I told other people, and the spiritual community, they get it. They're supportive.
Yes. Yes.
But those outside of the spiritual community, I got the reaction was one of shock, surprise, disbelief, confusion. Most people just respect it and say, okay, whatever. We'll call you nobody. There was one guy I was in a class with, and he had a really hard time, so he didn't even address me at all. We were working on an exercise together, and he just refused to call me by my
Oh
name.
my
It,
God.
it was it was difficult for him. But 4 years ago, I met a guy who called himself nobody, and I thought that was strange. Why would you want to call yourself nobody? Because everybody's striving to not be nobody. Everybody's striving to be somebody. And why are you calling yourself nobody? So I thought it was strange, but I also respected it and call him nobody. Um, so I wasn't like this wasn't the first time they came. I have that experience. And then a few years later, he went through his transition and he had chosen a common name for him. But he changed a lot through from the time I met him to the time that he became,
Mm.
he has a common name. So that's like the experience. So when nobody came to me, it wasn't shocking because I had that experience already, and it was just so joyful. I was like, I can be nobody for a long time.
Mm.
And then 2 months later, October of last year, I was in another deep healing hypnotic state, and the Divine Mother came in and immediately say, "You cannot be nobody anymore."
Mm.
And I said, "What? I love being nobody." And but you don't argue when you're in this state and God is talking to you and guiding you. You don't argue. I said, okay, you know, um, if I cannot be nobody, I need a name so other people can call me. They can't refer to me what. And so when I asked them, what do I call myself? And the word that popped in my head was Prema, Prema, Prema. And then a light bulb just went off. Everything just clicked, and like my whole life, my whole world just go. Everything just clicked. So why that word? Why is it significant? First of all, Prema means divine love in Sanskrit. There are three reasons why this just clicked. First of all, and the last, since I became a healer, I realized that love is lacking in people. And
Yes.
the lack of love is the biggest cause of people's issues. And so I have been praying to be the channeler of love, praying
Mm.
for the divine to channel your love through me to give healing to people. And second thing was that I've also, um, when I became a healer, decided to work on loving people unconditionally. And it was hard. I mean, loving people who hurt me, loving people who hurt other people, just not having judgment and just loving people for where they are. And so it's still a work in progress. I'm not there yet, but it's still something I'm working on, to love people unconditionally. So those two things were going on. Thirdly, um, last year I filed for a nonprofit. And so knowing that love is the solution for a lot of things, I want the word love to be in the nonprofit name, because we'll be working from love and giving love. And the nonprofit will be offering healing services to communities globally, for free or donation only. And so I want to spread love, and that let love be the key to healing. So I also know that I want the word love to be in Sanskrit.
Okay.
Somehow Sanskrit just really resonated with me. So I was searching for the word love in Sanskrit, and there's tons of words for love in Sanskrit. There's motherly love, sisterly love, romantic love, brotherly love, like all this different love. I'm like, oh my God, overwhelming. Which one do I use? And then as I was like going down, and the word for divine love is prema. So I'm like, cool.
Oh.
It's easy, it is short, it sounds nice, perfect. I look it up to see if that word is taken, and unfortunately, there's a company called Prema.
Okay.
So I couldn't use it. So I'm like, okay, go back to the drawing board. So I just put that aside. So those were the three reasons. And so when the divine said the word Prema, I was like, oh, everything just like clicked.
Oh, that had already been on your mind before the meditation.
Yeah, so
Got it.
all this was happening prior to
Okay.
this. And then the doubtful part of me said, wait a minute. What if my mind just make all of these things up because I was searching for the word prema? What if my mind just take that word and feed it back to me? And then the Divine Mother just laughed and she said, you think that you did all of that. We have been guiding you behind the scene to do this research, to prepare you. You think that you did this? We've been guiding you to this. And I say, okay. Again, the arrogance is saying, I did this. So I say, okay, it makes sense. I got it. I accept it. The next question I ask is, but mother, we live in a physical world. I can't go and change my name to Prema, like Madonna. The court's going to want a last name. So I need a last name if I'm going to change it to Prema. And then what came was Saraswati. Saraswati is the Hindu goddess of education and art.
Oh.
And I liked it, but I say, but why Saraswati? Because I haven't chanted her mantra. I have not studied about her.
Okay.
The goddess that's close to my heart is Kali. And like, why not Kali? Why not Prema Kali?
Yes.
And the answer that came was, Kali will always be working like in the background to support you, but Saraswati will provide the foundation for you, because what you're doing now and what you're going to do on a bigger scale in the future is teaching and learning. That is what you're about. Teaching and learning. Even when you're healing, you're teaching and learning, teaching and learning. And so that will provide you a good platform, a strong foundation. And so I said, okay, that makes sense. And Prema Saraswati sounded good to me. It has a wonderful, powerful, energy to it. And so I said, okay, I'm Prema Saraswati. And the next thing that happened after, the name and finally accepting the name was that I realized that becoming Prema, it's pretty much me finishing like a marathon and really stepping into my destiny. Because now um, I will be like, love is what I do. And so I'm carrying the energy of love and I'm stepping into my destiny. And then I saw that everything that I've done in the past, everything that's ever happened to me, all the traumas, all the abuse that I experienced, they were all a part of this path, to like corralling me, into this, not letting me stray, but really just shaping and corralling me to the single point in time at the moment when I have arrived and stepped into my destiny. And then I just like, whoa, all the suffering I went through were all for a purpose. And
Yeah.
all the people who hurt me in the past, they were really doing their job to like corral me so I don't stray away from my path. And then I had just have like appreciation to the people who hurt me and appreciation to all the suffering that I went through.
Yes.
So that's like the first thing that was shown to me. And then the second thing that I realized was like, wow, Mee Vaj, you went through so much suffering. And you were so strong, Mee Vaj. You carry it with grace and you choose the path of love instead of the path of anger and hurt.
Yes.
And for the first time, I saw Mee Vaj in that perspective, where I just have so much appreciation for her. And I'm like, thank you, Mee Vaj, you're so strong. Thank you. How can I honor you? How can I thank you? Can I, create an altar for you? Do I put like, give you a trophy or a plaque? I just like, thank you, thank you. You are so, oh my God, you're so strong.
Yes.
And then another thing that I realized was that, so Mee Vaj, my life is kind of like a relay race where one identity carries it to one part and then the next identity takes it over.
Yeah.
And so Mee Vaj chose to take the hardest part of this journey. And she's just a team player. And so that future me can do the work that I'm here to do without having to deal with all the heaviness of all the struggle. And she did that. And she's done her job. And she's here, and then she's gone. And now Prema takes over from here to really do the work. And so then 2 days later, after that, I was just like in this peace, right? This peaceful state. 2 days later, I realized, wait, there's nothing to heal. Like all the trauma and abuse I experienced, I cannot think of anything that needed healing. It was like becoming Prema had clean slate my past.
Yes. Yes.
It's like, whoa, I spent so many years healing. There's always something to heal, always something to heal. Heal, 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 heal. And now I'm at peace. And it was really exciting. And at the same time, like, what happened? How did it happen? And how can I do that to other people? How can I help other people to just have a clean slate?
Yes.
So that was really powerful,
Mm-hmm.
very transformational. And there's another perks with being Prema. So 3 weeks later, I was working with a friend. We were just like supporting, healing each other. And through the process, I realized that I have a new energy healing ability. I've done energy healing since 2011. And so, but this energy healing is very different. And I started just like giving energy healing to a lot of people, and it's just wonderful. and powerful. And different people got different results from it. Some people got energetic release, others got physical healing. Each person is different.
Mhm.
And for the first time, I have a higher confidence and being able to accomplish my mission of helping to heal and empower a billion people
There it
before
is.
before I die. Because now with this new healing ability, I, I saw a way to do it. I saw the possibility.
Mhm. Oh, beautiful.
So
I get
that's
it.
my journey to becoming Prema.
Wow. Now, you've told me this before, a little bit more condensed, but I'm still blown away. And I, at the same time, still completely resonate and understand everything you're saying. And it goes along with one of my deepest beliefs that healing can take place in a second.
Yes.
We don't necessarily have to do a bunch of things and wait a bunch of time and pass through this stage and that stage and that stage. You
Or
know,
life after life after life after life after life.
yeah.
That's
This is
that's
the quantum reality, this magical realm that we're in. Anything is possible. We just don't believe it because we've been taught not to.
yes.
So, yeah, I have a question for you. So, the difference in your healing, how does it feel in you different from the way you used to do healing? How is the energy? How is your control or not control? The streaming, channeling, like what's the difference that you feel?
So before I start off with Reiki and then it evolved into something else, more like intuitive energy healing. And before when I was doing it, I would like take a moment to really like do my ritual to turn it on. And I would just like channeling energy and sometimes I would get a vision. And then I would explain the vision. So that's how I was doing energy healing before. With the new energy, as soon as somebody say, would you give me a healing, and I sit down, it was already flowing through me. I don't need to go through this ritual of turning it
Mm.
on. Just like it was already like ready to come out. And
Mhm.
and when it comes out, it usually comes out both through like my energy center, like through the hands and my body, but also through sound. So sometimes I will be tuning a sound, sometimes a song will come out, and my friend called it light codes or light language. I'm still learning. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's
Yes.
usually some kind of a sound. And the
Mhm.
sound is the healing frequency. I
Mhm.
also feel the energy as I'm doing it. Sometimes I get vision and sometimes I'm able to channel, messages. So to me, it felt like this new healing is being channeled through,
Mhm.
um, different frequency. Um, I don't know what that is, but my highly intuitive friend told me that there's Mother Mary that comes out, there's Kuei Yang, and
Mhm.
then sometimes also the energy of Prema. You know, it's when Prema comes, only very few times, but she came as like the mother goddess.
Mhm.
And she's like, no, we're going to change this. Um, so when she comes through, it's just like a queen coming through to set the record straight.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm still like learning what this is. My friend told me that I could get reading, and I sampled it, tried out with a couple of people, and yet I could get reading. It's not something that I offer, but the
Mhm.
messages naturally just get channeled to the client when necessary.
Through the energy or the tone vibration.
Um, Sometimes through song, but most of the time it's just like a message, a channel message. I'll just be talking.
Oh,
Yes,
oh,
yes.
okay.
And for me, when I'm doing healing, I feel a higher vibration of energy, and it feels really good. I feel recharged. when I finished with one healing, I was like, this feels really good. Let's do another one. Who would like a healing? Let's do it again. Let's do it again. So I don't get exhausted like I used to before. I get recharged. I just feel so peaceful,
Mm.
like I'm in a different, in a higher frequency of energy. And it just feels wonderful. So again, that really gives me hope that I can do this all day long and not get
Mhm.
burnt out.
Mhm. I love the synchronicities happening in my life. Oh my gosh. I've had a conversation almost identical to what you're just talking about right now, personally about me, and then another one about someone else. And, I said, when you're being all of you without shutting out a part of you or pretending a part of you exists that doesn't, and you're completely surrendering to that,
Mm-hmm.
living is blissful. It's easy. And when
Mm-hmm.
you're providing the gift that you naturally came into this physical reality with, that's from spirit, it's the easiest thing. It doesn't tax you.
Yes.
You don't actually control it. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually learning that in my own,
Mm.
healing. Um, so I get it. I totally get what you're saying. It's so beautiful. Don't you wish everyone could find that in themselves and then make that change and be that?
I do, and everybody can. I'm not special at all. I don't have
Mm.
special abilities that others don't. I'm just a normal person struggling through life who happen to have the strong desire to not suffer anymore and to really attain a higher level of enlightenment. And so I'm was on this path and working hard on this path. And so I've arrived at a certain, stage of my life. It doesn't end here. And now it's
Exactly.
like the ocean just got bigger, right? And so now there's more levels, to go. And it's really
Yes.
exciting now because I think that it will be going forward, the path will be easier than what I've been through, what Mee Vaj, went through. Um,
Mhm.
and everybody can arrive at their destiny if they have the desire and the willingness to work at it.
Absolutely. What are any plans that you have, if anything, right now with this gift and this new you and this energy? Do you have any visions of where you might take that? Are you doing individual? Are you doing groups? Are you doing retreats? Anything like that?
Yes. So when I became a healer and provide my services professionally, I have given myself, declared myself the mission of helping to heal and empower a billion people. And so this now just gives me more um, abilities, more of a probability. And
Mm.
what I want to do is to do groups,
Mm.
to um, group programs, going to different groups and giving everything that I have, all the tools that I have to help the people with what they need. And I also want to do this through the nonprofit as well and reduce my one-on-one clients to about 25%, and the 75% will be doing groups. So that's the next step. And the big challenge is I don't have the time.
Oh.
I I need help and I can't do it
Mm.
alone. So I need help. I need to
Mm.
hire a team, build a team so that I can bring all the
Mhm.
gifts and tools that's been given to me that will be channeled through me to the people who are open to it and are really need it.
Love that. So that you need admin, you need organization, location,
I need a
everything like that.
team. Yes, I need
Yeah.
a team.
So if anyone watches this and they feel like they're that person, they'd love to serve a bigger cause, they'd like to be a part of healing and empowering a billion. Did you say a billion?
A billion.
A billion people in the world. Maybe they're good at details. Maybe they're good at organization. Maybe they're good at promoting. Maybe they're good at setting up the physical scenario location, get in touch with you, how would people get in touch with you?
They can go. My nonprofit, I don't have a website for that yet, maybe this year. They can go to my for-profit business, which is empoweredmindwellness.com. Empoweredmindwellness.com.
Okay. And this is for people who might want to help be on your team or collaborate with you in some way to serve that higher purpose, and for people who maybe want to set up a session or a healing with you. Is that correct?
Yes, now I'm still doing individual healing and it's still affordable. Later on, when the group healing really takes off, my one-on-one session will be limited, and and the price will go up as well. So this is, if you want to try my healing or the way I do healing, this is a great time
Mhm.
to do it.
Mhm.
Um, and I can do healing all day. If somebody say, I need healing, can you come here? I'm like, yeah, I'm there. What slows me down is like all the admin work, the marketing,
Yes. Yes.
just all the business behind all the back office and business stuff that are slowing me down. So I do need volunteers and
Mhm.
collaborators for
Mhm.
my nonprofit so that we can get that going and really bringing healing to the world because there is so much
Mhm.
need out there.
Beautiful. And do you provide your sessions in person and remotely, or how does that work?
Since
Depending on what
COVID,
session.
yeah, since COVID, it's been such a blessing in the sense that I was kind of like forced to move all my sessions to Zoom and phone. And it turned out to be such a blessing because it worked out really well. So all the hypnotherapy, guided meditation, all the energy healing, it's done just either Zoom or over the phone. And
Mm.
it's just as effective as if we are in person.
Beautiful. And if they wanted to see you in person, would you do that? And where would you do that?
I still have my office in Long Beach, and I'm beginning to see clients in person. But I'm like not there a lot, so the appointments there is really limited. The Zoom
Mhm.
sessions and phone sessions have much more flexibilities.
Okay. And what was I going to say? Zoom phone. Oh, do you want to give some comments from people that you've given this your new healing energy to? What have people said
What have people
about?
said? Um, I haven't gotten
You told
just
me a few.
yeah.
So,
Their experience is um, you know, I recently was giving healing to a person, and there was just so much negative energy that needed to be released. And what was coming out of my mouth was, "Begone, hungry soul, begone, hungry soul." So I felt like Jesus Christ, removing entities, and
mhm,
that was just like coming out.
mhm,
And I could feel so much heavy energy, thick
mhm,
energy. It got so intense that I started like calling the different angels, calling Goddess Kali to help remove all this negative energy out. I got my drums and started drumming really heavily.
wow.
It was so intense. It was the most intense session I have given. And this person has never received energy healing before. And so it's
Okay.
just a lot
Yeah.
to get rid of. And
Yeah.
afterward, the person say, "Oh my God, I just felt so peaceful." Um,
Yes.
there are a few people who have physical injury and they have received healing. I also recently gave healing to an elderly um, woman, and she was having shoulder issues. And so I tuned into the shoulder issues, and I could feel the energy, so I was clearing it. And the next time, like a couple of days later, I called her and asked her about her shoulders, and she said her shoulders got better. So
Mm.
other people with physical injury or physical discomfort, they have told me that it felt better, if not, completely healed.
Wow.
Most of the people have given energy healing to is more of the emotional, energetic nature, and
Uh-huh.
so they usually just feel a
Uh-huh.
release of negativity, feeling lighter, feeling calmer, more peaceful.
Mhm.
The anger, went away.
Oh, mm,
They reported sleeping better, and just
mhm.
overall, better health. Um, the overall well-being has improved.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh. I keep thinking the word Saraswati, the name keeps going through my mind. And I keep thinking of like an Indian guide or maiden or something. I
It's
know
a
you said it's,
The Hindu goddess of
yes,
education and arts.
I know that. But I mean, I keep seeing like a long-haired young Indian guide, and it looks like you. So I just think that's a perfect name for you, regardless of who it is in ancient history. Um, what else did I want to ask you?
There's
Have
something
all this,
There's
go
something I
ahead.
do want to share though. Prior to, like a year prior to becoming nobody, I was in another meditation where the vision that came was I put my body on a raft and I was giving my body a funeral service. And I was grieving. I was crying so hard. It was so sad. And
Oh, wow.
the body would just say, she would just like there and say, I'm ready to go. I'm exhausted. I worked so hard. And I
Mm,
also feel regret because I did not take good care of my body. I put my body through,
um,
like I overused my body. I just
okay.
make her work so hard, not giving her rest. It's always pushing, pushing. And
Yes.
so it was time for her to go. And so I gave her this funeral service. It was really beautiful. And she floated down the river, a wide, calm river. The sun was setting and she was floating and the music was playing in the background. And then the river goes into a waterfall and she got um, she was received, captured by God. Um,
Oh,
there was so much release and healing and grief. And then after that's like I have a new physical body and now I have to take care of this new physical body. And so that
oh,
happened. Like when I looked back to how I became Prema, it was letting go of all the fears, the negativity, the judgment, and then letting go of the body. And then next
mhm,
letting go of the identity. So all
mm,
that happening before Prema can come in.
mhm. And what you're just talking about, that was a meditation or a vision or a dream? What
That
was it?
was a meditation.
Okay.
I felt it. I saw the
Mhm.
vision.
And that was how long before your August
That was
meditation?
probably close to a year
Oh,
before that.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I saw you, I think at the end of July last year, I definitely, like we talked a little bit about before we started this recording, I definitely saw you at a crossroads. And I definitely, from knowing you all these years, I know how hard you have worked physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I know how I'm going to cry right now. Whew. Yeah, I know the Mee Va that you have shed, and I know her purpose. I worked with her.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I met you really early on in my healing career, and we've just
Yeah,
been friends since then. And
I think 10
yeah.
years ago, actually, now. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. It
yeah.
is. It is. And so I also want to mention that when you and I got together last year, you also gave me an access consciousness healing, and that's a part of that process too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, when you were talking about the letting go of ego and judgment, that's a big part of that bar session. Yeah. I remember sitting on your little patio table outside and with my notepad and writing our conversation, just bits of our conversation down, and I just visually remember the notepad and what it looked like and how you were at this crossroads. And I knew that the next time you and I really talked in depth, you were going to be different. There was going to be
Wow.
some major change that you were going to make. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That is amazing.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you want to say, or an invitation, a wish, a nugget of some kind, anything?
Um, I just want to read what I wrote down after becoming Prema, and I wrote down doing my integration, and I said that Mother has orchestrated my whole life, all the suffering, to become Prema. This way, when I get it, it was deeply meaningful to me. If the Divine Mother has given all of this to me early on, I would not be able to appreciate it the way I do now. And I would not be able to use it meaningfully and well the way I'm doing it now. And our suffering is a process of learning to deeply appreciate the gifts the Divine Mother is going to give to us. So it's preparation for the gift that will be coming. Don't be afraid of your suffering. Thank you, Divine
Mm,
Mother.
that's the nugget. Don't be afraid of your suffering. Mm, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
And I do want to say to anybody out there who is going through suffering or pain, whether it's be addictions, you're in an abusive relationship, or you had some, trauma, rather it be little trauma or big trauma, and you're still that is still affecting your life today, that you're not stuck. You can heal. What happened to you was just something that happened. You can release all the emotion, all the energy that are holding you back, that are making it hard for you. You can do that with the proper technique and the love and support. You can do that. Just as I went through on my journey and Jan went through on her journey, you don't have to suffer. My motto is you don't have to suffer. You can heal. And like Jan said earlier, healing can happen really instantly. And I've seen that a lot with clients that I work with. So you're not stuck. You can heal. You can be absolutely free if
Mhm.
you're willing to do the work.
Beautiful. Thank you, Prema.
Thank you, Jan. This has been such a pleasure, and I'm having so much fun chatting with you again. Thank you for this
Me
opportunity.
too. We're going to do this again.
Absolutely.
We will. All right. Thank you. And we'll talk soon. And thank you all for watching. You are blessed.
Thank you.